So here we are at round 6 of the SorryMate.com National Endurance Series. Our featured team this week are the 7 racing team of Tim Foreman and Mark Mellon, racing in the Clubman 1000 class.
So you did very well last year. Can you tell me a bit about that?
Yeah, last year was our first season, so we were in the rookie championship, and we had a hard-fought season really against one particular team, NI Racing, who we just managed to beat at the last round and take the championship by 2 points. So yeah, all good.
Are you expecting a similar result this time?
Well, we were at the beginning of the season, but we've had a bit of an indifferent really with a couple of breakdowns and what have you. So I think probably top 3, hopeful, really top 5.
So what are you expecting today?
To finish would be nice. The weather's nice, so hopefully we can sneak 3rd position, but top 5 and we'll be happy, I think.
Okay, fantastic, thank you.
So the boys trying to stay positive there, looking for a top 3 result as Mike the mechanic girds himself ready for what could be a very busy afternoon. Okay, so the traditional Le Mans type start as all 4 classes in the National and Clubman Series all start off together. 3 hours, don't forget, a long, long race, all electronically timed and with changes of riders at regular intervals, so lots to happen. Here we go. Oh, almost a false start there. So the boys get ready to sprint across the line and to jump onto the machines. There they go. Second time of asking here at Pembrey. Park straight, the bikes fire up. In fact, the bikes fire up all except that of one of the leading contenders, Greg Allsop, who had a lot of trouble there and in fact got away second to last. So Allsop suddenly puts himself at a big disadvantage. Allsop riding for the Go Racing team, of course. So for the first time of asking, the riders head round turn 4 and head up towards the S's. As we say, 3 hours. This is round 6. So we're starting to look at scores and championship points now as we head towards the end of the series to see who will take this national championship, don't forget. So there will be trophies and a proper championship to go at the end of it to the winners. So the team's heading off, getting themselves tuned into things and getting themselves aligned with the circuit. You'll notice the riders wearing red and yellow armbands. That signifies when they have a change so that we can keep up to speed with which member of each of the teams is out on circuit at any one time. Electronic timing, of course, thankfully, which keeps everybody up to speed. 115, Team Traction Control there. Their pit boards getting readied. So lots of teams out there on site, as we say, mixture of machines, 600s and 1000s, Clubman and the full national class as well. There is the 115 Team Traction Control, Steve Mercer and Ben Neves. They came into the series at right up at the pointy end. Have been in contention all year with Go Racing and IBL Racing in the National 1000 Championship, the big boy class. There is our boys, the 7 racing team. So there, don't forget, looking for a top 3. Let's hope they can bring that one home. But Traction Control at the front. 66, Macca and Edge, one of our featured teams in the previous round. Nick Edgley, Gary Johnson, riding 675 Triumphs. 59, that is Go Racing, Greg Allsop, courtesy of that unfortunate start with his R1. It just wouldn't fire up. But him and Andy Carpenter out there racing, as we say, Go Racing Developments. But Greg Allsop certainly gets his money's worth over the course of the weekend. He does some laps around these circuits, racing in various classes, all on that trusty R1 of his. Pit board about to go out for the number 77 team, the old enough to know better team of Dave Dibble and Michael Vincent. Tells them to come in 2 laps time. And that's where Michael Vincent will go out and take his stint and take over from Dave. Traction Control out at the front, riding that BMW S1000RR. As we now get our first view of Tim Foreman in the blue leathers there on the 777, our featured team this weekend. So Tim having his first stint of the weekend. Had a bit of a troubled season, as they said. Cracking year last year, but not gone quite according to plan during the course of this season. Grant Berry coming in for the Tank 2 racing team, the leaders in the Clubman 1000 series up to now. He's going to hand over to Chris Mason on the Yamaha R1 with the yellow armband. So our team coming in for their first change of the day. Tim Foreman coming in. He will hand over to Mark Mellon, who will get out for the first time. The transponder will be moved across to the machine, of course, and Mark will go out for his first time. Well, Mark coming into coming into the paddock area, and it looks as though the team aren't ready for him at the moment, taking them all a bit by surprise, but the mechanics no doubt will come rushing out any moment now. There they go, right on cue. Mark Mellon now waiting to have the transponder quickly moved from one machine to another. So Mark goes off with his first stint. Let's catch up with Tim, see what he thinks of it.
Right, so how did you find the first stint?
Oh, we started okay, sort of mid-pack, and then we got mixed up with 2 or 3 of the people we normally race with, and it was pretty dicey, fast, furious, hot. So yeah, good session.
So you feel you're doing well?
I think we're 5th, 4th at the moment, somewhere around there, so it's probably about where we deserve to be, really.
Okay, thank you.
So the boys on course for their predicted 3rd or 5th position. Let's hope that they can keep things going. Long way to go, don't forget, though, still in the first hour. So Mark, there he is. As we say, his first stint, yellow armband. Number 59 coming round there. 59 being the Go Racing Developments, and well, Go Racing, as we say, they've been up at the sharp end all the way through. Greg Alsop, Andy Carpenter out this weekend. But it is the Traction Control team who are leading at the moment. Number 7, Tank 2, runaway leaders in the series there in the Clubman Endurance 1000 series so far. Had a really solid year so far. 122, Michael Merritt for the TDM Racing team. They also having a good series as well. He on the R6 Yamaha, along with Terry Merritt on the Honda 600. Perfect conditions out there for this weekend. A little warm, though, of course, for some of the teams. And as we say, it is an awful long race. This one, 3 hours, as another lap gets clicked off across the line. Down the park straight they go as the mechanics patiently wait and keep an eye on their boys out there. But get ready for those all-important changeover of riders. Team Traction Control looking very much in control, though, just as they have most of the season there. Ben Neves having a good ride.
Yeah, because we've got 43 minutes left.
So coming into the paddock now is Mark Mellon. His first stint completed. Let's hope the mechanics are ready this time for him as he comes in. Team 7 Racing. As we say, transponder will be clicked off. The obligatory stop coming into the paddock area. There we go. Now that's much better. Here we go. Proper organisation this time. Mark comes in. Quick change of the transponder. Over to Tim Foreman's bike. Clipped on. Tim ready to go. Minimum time lost. Away we go. So they were looking good. 1 hour gone, 2 hours remaining here at Pembrey. So the positions after 1 hour in the National 1000, Traction Control a lap ahead of Go Racing, who in turn are 2 laps ahead of IBL. In the Clubman, Tank 2, Souls to Wheels and T Watson bikes are the top 3. National 600s led by Macca and Edge, and the Clubman's by TDM Racing on 54 laps.
You're doing well. How do you feel that went?
Not too fast, just consistent, I'd say. It's got quick boys out there, and yeah, it's very hot.
It's your first time on the track. How did you find it?
Difficult. It's very, for a small track, it's quite complicated, it's quite complex, so it's, yeah, it's worn out, blisters on my hands, so move on. Next, sit down and get ready for the next one, I think.
Well, hopefully you're used to it now.
Thank you.
into hour 2 here of round 6 of the National Endurance Championship Series. On screen, it is Grant Berry of Tank 2 Racing, but the leaders of the race at the moment, Team Traction Control, they're being ridden by Steve Mercer, one of the top superbike riders in the country, of course. So Mercer heads off. Meanwhile, we look back down to number 66, the Macca and Edge team. Macca and Edge resplendent in their new livery, as they are leading the National 600 class at the moment with 2 hours left to go. Team 7, there they are, with Tim Foreman on board. Don't forget, aiming for top 3 position at the end of the race. Let's go across and have a word with Mike the mechanic.
So how's everything going out there for you?
Not too bad at the moment. We're fairly steady. We're in a nice rhythm. And yeah, the boys are doing well.
Good, great, thank you.
Because it's such a short lap, don't forget there's a lot of laps being cranked out here in the 3-hour series here at Pembrey. Only 1.5 mile distance around this circuit, so there will be a lot of laps scored. Tank 2 carrying on at the front as ever, having a solid race there. The Grant Berry with the red armband. Number 4, IBL Racing. Mark Clark and Jess Traylor. Jess Traylor, in fact, is in for Hudson Kenner, who is away on British Superbike duty. But Jess having a tough weekend because he's never ridden this Kawasaki before, and in fact hasn't been to Pembrey for a number of years. So not only is he having to learn the bike, he's having to relearn the circuit as well. So Jess Traylor having a fantastic ride. 157. That is the T. Watson bikes of Rick Dickinson, Tom Stevens. They were the shy retiring types, you may remember, of our featured team at the last round, but out there having a good solid ride this time. Number 11, the Power Projects Racing team going through on that screaming, howling 675 Triumph. 169, the Thunder Chickens team, Mark Gibson, Eric Hadley in the paddock. There's our crew. 2 laps in before another change goes on, but meanwhile, Team Traction Control 115. Well, there we have 1 and 2 in the National 1000 Championship. It is IBL and Team Traction Control, and Jess Traylor unfortunately just losing out to Steve Mercer there, who cuts inside. As we say, they are the big hitters in the series. So as Tim Foreman comes in for the next changeover, Mark Mellon waiting, ready to go. The team very slickly move the transponder across one to the other. Mark goes out on circuit yet again.
Right, so you're 5th in your class now. Can you keep it up?
Well, that's the plan. Hopefully go to 4th and then 3rd, but you never know, there's still a while to go, so things can happen, you know, breakdowns, crashes and stuff.
On screen, Pit Stop Racing, one of the leading championship contenders in the National 600 class, with Peter Dilks on board. Before Tank 2, there they go. Tank 2, as we say, have really been one of the solid performers all year this year in the Club 1000 Championships. 57, Frame Fast, just in front of 59. 59 being the Go Racing Developments, of course. There's our 7. Mark Mellon starting to really get the hang of things now. As we say, on course those boys, 5th and pushing for 4th. '62 Second-Hand Racing team coming in now. Second-Hand Racing, it's Craig Beale, John Kilcar. Having a bit of trouble moving the transponder. There we go. Moved across, and there goes Craig Beale out on circuit. There is the Macca and Edge squad coming in. There is the obligatory stop, you see. They have to come to a halt before moving in at a reasonable pace to go back out on circuit. Well, our team, they need to keep pressing. They'd like to get top 3. They're 5th at the moment, but well, into the 2nd hour of the race. They are looking good as we speak. Tank 2, though, as ever, absolutely charging at the moment. Chris Mason there Crossing the line one more time as he goes down Park Straight towards Hatchet Hairpin. 999, Mark Roxburgh for Initiatech Racing makes up another position. Initiatech, third position in the National 600 class. But you can see, although it's a long race, none of these boys are hanging about. They are pressing on and turning in some very impressive lap times going right the way through the field. 122 TDM Racing. Mark Mellon coming in one more time. Now then, the team getting very, very slick at these changes now. Let's see whether Mike, the mechanic, and his crew are ready. Tim Foreman should be there, ready and waiting. And there we go, look at that. He will be there, patiently waiting his turn with the blue leathers. So red armband. Tim Foreman, transponder done. Team 7 out on circuit again. One hour to go, 2 hours down, just 1 hour to go in this race here. Round 6 at Pembrey. Positions after 2 hours, Traction Control still leading from IBL and Go Racing, with Tank 2, Souls to Wheels and T. Watson Bites leading the Endurance Clubman Class 1000s. Into the 600 pit stop, Macca and Edge now down to second in front of Team Sorry Mate, and the Clubman 600 being led by TDM on 107 laps.
So that's your part over with. Did you give it all you could?
Not really. I was too tired. But yeah, it was fun. We up to 4th, so if we can stay in 4th, we'll be pleased with that.
Yeah. Thank you.
So Mark done a good job. The team running 4th at the moment. 1 hour left to go for the Team 7. Let's see if they can break into that top 3. That would be fantastic for them and would round off a perfect weekend. Pit Stop Racing. Peter Dilks on board, running in the National 600 class, of course. Team Traction Control now coming into the paddock for their latest change over. Steve Mercer going in. And there we have Team 11, and that is the Power Projects Racing team. And Alan Olsen on the 675 Triumph, getting frustrated because the transponder taking a while to get put on before they can go out on circuit again. So various works going on in the paddock area now. As you can see, there's the Go Racing team. And that looks like a seriously wet tyre going on. Team 77, the Old Enough to Know Better squad, you can see they're in trouble because with no transponder, they're not having any times being related. Ben Neves debriefing the pit crew as Steve Mercer is back out on the traction control. There we are, right on cue. On the Suzuki GSX-R 1000, of course. IBL. Jess Trailer, we said, a tough time for him, but making a good shot at it at the moment. Jess on the R6 Yamaha. Clubman 1000 class leaders, Tank 2 with Grant Berry on board. They cross the line one more time. Now the riders are starting to get a bit weary now. It is warm out there, so it's been a hard afternoon's racing. 122 TDM Racing. But these boys are absolutely flying today, as we say. They're the ones, Macca and Edge, who we had on board in round 2 of our series, and really having a good afternoon's racing. Meanwhile, Andy Carpenter for the Go Racing team, number 59. Out there circulating on an R1 Yamaha, so maybe not sure if that's on Greg's bike or not. But we'll find out later, no doubt. On screen now, it is Team Framefast with Paul Brighouse on board, riding a 1098 Ducati by the looks of things. No mistake in that. So Team Traction Control leading from Go Racing and IBL. As we say now, the time's counting down. This is when it gets serious. Last few crucial laps. Steve Mercer, there he is on the 115. Team Traction Control. Well, Steve, as ever, solid performance there. He's not only fast, he's safe, he's precise. Very friendly on the machine as well, so easy on the bike. Our class leaders, Tank 2 Racing as well in the Clubman 1000 class. There they are, number 7. Meanwhile, the Souls to Wheels team, number 25. On here at Pembrey, the former airfield site, as we said, former airfield site, and also chicken farm as well. The home of Welsh motorsport, right down there in South Wales, Carmarthenshire. But it's been a fantastic weekend of racing here we've seen. But our timekeepers, you can see, also got a stopwatch as well as the electronic timing as we come to the end of the race now. 1 second, that's it. 3 hours are up. The end of the race here at Pembrey. As Team Traction Control look to be heading for a victory. Steve Mercer on the 115 with that ultra-reliable Suzuki GSX-R 1000 crosses the line and takes the checkered flag. So the results at the end of the 3 hours. National 1000, it was Team Traction Control from Go Racing and IBL. The Clubman 1000 Series, Tank 2, as we thought, won from Souls to Wheels and T. Watson Bikes. Into the 600s, Nationals, Macca and Edge got back on top from Pit Stop and Team Sorry Mate, with the Clubmans headed by TDM Racing on 163 laps. Standings after 6 rounds, well, it's getting tight. 1 point between IBL and Team Traction Control, and just another 9 to third place Go Racing Developments. Clubman Series, Tank 2, some distance in front of Fire It and Anglia Interiors. Meanwhile, in the National 600, Team Sorry Mates are on 110 points. Pit Stop Racing second and Initiatech Racing in third. And finally, the Clubman 600s, TDM from Thunder Chickens, P&M, Still Game Racing, Radial Line, and On Your Marks in 6th position.
Right, so that was a great result for you guys.
Yeah, I think I said top 5 at the beginning of the race, so we lost. We were 4th, but we got overtaken in the last 2 laps, so 5th's all right, yeah, good.
So you enjoyed yourselves?
Yeah, definitely. It's a very physical track, but yeah, happy.
So will you be coming again next year?
Yeah, I guess so, if it's here. It's not always here, so, but yeah, we will if it's here, yeah, good.
So is there anyone you'd like to say thank you to?
Oh, of course, my crew. Stuart, who's the pit crew. Mike on the, come here, Mike. Mike's our chief mechanic, who keeps us out of trouble on the pit wall as well with the time penalties and stuff, so yeah, it's a team effort. We get all the fun, but they do all the work, you know.
It's a great team effort. Anything you'd like to say?
Yeah, can I just say hi to Taylor, who'll be watching MotorsTV?
So smiley faces all around here at Pembrey. We now load up and head off to Brands Hatch for the next round. We look forward to seeing you then.